Late night host Stephen Colbert again claimed on his show last night that CBS told him not to air an interview with Texas Democratic Senate candidate James Talarico. Colbert says he was told the interview could violate FCC guidance regarding the equal time rule. The White House today responded to Colbert's public criticisms of CBS and the Trump administration, saying, quote, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr is simply doing his job at enforcing the rules. CBS News correspondent Elaine Quijano has details on the dispute.
There's another big story today that I never got to over in my monologue, and it's me.
For a second night in a row, late-night host Stephen Colbert criticized CBS after he said the network made him pull his interview with Democratic Texas State Representative James Talarico on Monday in fear that it would violate the Federal Communications Commission's equal time rule.
We were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast. Then,
the equal time rule requires broadcast stations to give equal airtime to candidates running for the same political office. Late night and daytime talk shows have been traditionally exempt. But in January, the FCC said it is revisiting that rule, writing in a memo, quote, a program that is motivated by partisan purposes, for example, would not be entitled to an exemption under long-standing FCC precedent.
Let's just call this what it is. Donald Trump's administration wants to silence anyone who says anything bad about Trump on TV because all Trump does is watch TV.
CBS said Tuesday The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Representative James Talarico. The show was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for two other candidates.
Every word of my script last night was approved by CBS's lawyers. I got called backstage to get more notes from these lawyers, something that had never, ever happened before. And they told us the language they wanted me to use to describe that equal time exception.
Monday was the first known time a late-night talk show changed its programming since the FCC issued its new guidance. Anna Gómez, the only Democratic-appointed FCC commissioner, worries that decision could enable censorship.
That we are in a very precarious moment for our First Amendment, and the FCC needs to stay out of content regulation because our First Amendment prohibits it.
But Trump-appointed FCC Chairman Brendan Carr has stood by the new guidance.
Congress was clear that the FCC has a role with respect to bona fide news. They were worried that TV programmers would, broadly take advantage of trying to claim they were bona fide news when they weren't.
I'm Elaine Quijano.
CBS says The Late Show posted the interview with Talarico on YouTube to avoid any potential FCC violations. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who's also running in the Democratic primary, said last night she has no issue with Colbert's interview with Talarico. She's been on The Late Show several times. CBS News political director Fin Gómez joins me now. So what is Talarico, the man at the center of this, saying about this, Fin?
Yeah, Lindsay, Talarico is turning the Late Show flap into a rallying cry just as early voting began this week ahead of the March 3rd primary election. Talarico has said his interview was pulled by the FCC, as you stated there, but FCC Chair Brendan Carr countered today, saying that there was no censorship here at all and that the media had been duped, saying that Americans trust gas station sushi more than the news media. But Talarico has been framing it as political pressure and using the moment to energize donors and grassroots supporters. CBS News can confirm that Talarico's campaign has racked up a whopping $2.5 million in donations and counting since the Late Show controversy. Lindsay?
There is another controversy over another Texas lawmaker. Who is Tony Gonzales, and why are there calls for him to resign?
So, Tony Gonzales is a Republican congressman who represents Texas's 23rd district, a sprawling seat along the Texas-Mexico border that includes parts of San Antonio. But he's known more as a moderate Republican member, but he's up for your re-election this year and facing a competitive primary. But CBS News has confirmed a story first broken by the San Antonio Express that Gonzales allegedly engaged in a romantic relationship with a married congressional aide who died last year by setting herself on fire outside her Uvalde home. Now, this is according to a text message that CBS News has viewed. The story has sparked calls from his Republican rival and some Republicans in Texas for him to step down, citing House ethics rules that bar members from sexual relationships with their employees. Gonzales, who is married and has 6 children, Children has pushed back, accusing opponents of politicizing a tragic situation. And again, as early voting begins in Texas. Lindsay.
All right, Van Gómez, thank you.